Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special treat for you this year as you are finding your seats. Would you please give a warm BC Natural Resources welcome to the Khast'an Drummers. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Khast'an Drummers, everybody. All yours, drummers.
There's one over there. Okay. Check, check.
Real close.
Oh, okay. Check. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. We're the Khast'an Drummers. We're going to do the first song, and it's "O Canada" in the Daketh language, the local language here. Oh, sorry. The song was composed by the late Dugan Joseph.
All right, Khast'an Drummers, everyone. Thank you, and take it away, Khast'an Drummers.
This next song we're going to do is the Swirling River Water Song, and it is Anishinaabe. So we're praying for our water and for the women and the caregivers of the water.
Everyone, could I ask you to keep the noise down a little bit? I know you're excited to be starting. I would invite you all, please, to take a seat, hold the conversation. Let's have our next song from Khast'an Drummers, and then you'll have lots of time to chat throughout the night. Thanks, drummers. Thank you very much, Khast'an Drummers, and I would invite everybody please to welcome Chief Darlene Logan, Clyde-Litane First Nation, and the Honorable David Eby, Premier of British Columbia. Come on in, you two. All right, you've got one more song. Brenda, let's introduce it.
So this last song that we're going to sing is called Wanaska. It is a morning song that wakes you up and brings life to your bodies. So enjoy this song.
Let's hear it for the Khast'an Drummers, Clyde-Litane's own Khast'an Drummers. I feel more invigorated already. Thank you, drummers. Thank you for getting us started in the right way. And I thought Clarence was fantastic, right, buddy? Thank you, everyone. Sorry to have to crank it up a little bit. I'm Kevin Brown. I'll be here all week. I've got a few opening remarks to get us started tonight, including introducing our head table. So first and foremost, if you're with Artemis Gold, you're at table number 2. Takla Nation, table 8. Thanks, everybody. I know I hate to put a damper on enthusiasm, But we will get on with our evening program. Soto First Nation at table 12, Echo 4 at table 15, and Petronas at table 19. Thanks again. Can I hear it again for the Khast'an Drummers? Let's show that natural resources energy for our own Khast'an Drummers. Thanks, everyone. We always start off every session at BCNRF with a safety share. If there is an emergency, we are required to evacuate the room. The Conference and Civic Center muster station is out to my right, just in front of the building. And we would ask that you all make your way there safely if you hear the emergency buzzer. Additionally, for those, as we are going to enjoy dinner in a short time, if you have an allergy card and you got one at registration, please make sure you keep it with you at all times and make sure that our serving staff here at the Prince George Conference and Civic Center make sure they can see your allergy card. I'd like you to join me in thanking the sponsor of the great everyone, so sorry. Everyone, please, little quiet. Where's Corey Wilson when I need her? She always gets our attention. Let's have a round of thanks for Coastal GasLink and the pre-banquet trade show reception. Thank you, Coastal GasLink. Our banquet sponsor tonight is Artemis Gold, as well as Centera Gold, who was kind enough to sponsor the wine in front of you on our tables tonight. Pictures with the Premier, of course. We've got to have photos. Thank you, Premier. Now, we'd also like to thank all of our Indigenous leaders and elders who have joined us, all of the mayors, MLAs, and ministers who have all made time to be here with us. Let's thank them all for coming to the 22nd Annual BC Natural Resources Forum. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce your head table. So let's get that started. Let me first introduce Sebastian Ross, Managing Director, Rio Tinto, Atlantic Operations for Canada. Sebastian, give us a wave. Merci, thank you. Cassandra Mali, Vice President, Network Operations for CN. Cassandra, stand up, give him a wave. There she is. Fantastic, thank you. We have Mr. Stephen Dean, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, and Director at Artemis Gold. Thank you, Stephen. We have John Mullally, Head External Relations for Newmont. Thank you, John. How about we welcome Roger Dall'Antonia, President and CEO, Fortis BC. Great applause, everybody. Thank you so much. How about some cheers for Steve Elliott, President of West Coast Energy with Enbridge. Thank you, Steve. Let's have a welcome for Dr. Jeff Payne, President and Vice Chancellor, University of Northern British Columbia. Jeff? Let's hear some enthusiasm for Randy Reichard, President and CEO, Skeena Gold and Silver. Thank you, Randy. We have the Mayor of the great city of Prince George, British Columbia, Canada, Simon Yu. Mayor Simon. We also have Councillor Crystal Gibbs, Clyde-Litane First Nation. Crystal. And I need some extra thanks and applause for Chief Darlene Logan, Clyde-Litane First Nation. Okay, that's my nickname for her. I call her Chief Awesome, and we get on well. And please put your hands together to welcome our keynote speaker a little later on tonight, the Premier of the Province of British Columbia, the Honourable David Eby. Thank you so much, everybody. It's a pleasure now to call on Clyde-Litane Elder Mike Bazoki to come and do an official welcome to the territory and bless our dinner. Mike? 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Bazoki. I'm an elder with the Clyde-Litane. I currently sit as the Vice President on our Elders Committee. Clayton has always been a meeting place for many years. We are in the center of 5 different linguistic groups in the Prince George area. And in the past, Clayton has hosted many events like this, bringing people from all across the province together. BC Native Elders Gathering, we've had it 4 times in 50 years. So it's about time we get it back up here in the next couple of years. Clayton is our traditional territory is about 4 million square hectares. That is a lot. In the past, we have traded, fished, hunted, gathered, and we controlled the rivers. That is how Clayton became a power. But we've always had small numbers. People came here, gathered, and traded. We're part of the Ulican Grease Trail. And we controlled the trade up and down the Fraser, the Nechako, the Willow, the Salmon, the McGregor, and all points east towards the Alberta border. Currently, our statement of intent area, go north about half an hour, 45 minutes towards Clucas Lake. That's the top end of our territory. Around Hickson on the south side of that border. All the way down the Fraser or up the Fraser to past Belmont, east to the Alberta border. This was what we controlled. Now, taking a look at history, we have documented proof that we've been in this area for over 9,700 years. And we have always been here. And we continue to build our relations with other First Nation governments, provincial governments, city governments, regional governments. When we were in the treaty process, one of our greatest things to come out of it was the working group between Clayton, the regional district of Fraser-Fort George, and the city of Prince George. That committee is still ongoing. We have common goals. We have been here. We will always be here. We remember what had happened on the land, whereas city governments and regional governments don't have that memory. We know what had happened. When you take a look towards the Clayton Memorial Park, that was IR number 1 for us. During the development phase of Prince George, the city decided to turn it into a golf course. They pushed all the graves into the river. So when you go into the park, there's a fenced-off area, and around it, we have the remains of the headstones that were pushed in. When we mentioned that to the city did not know that history, but we were here. So on behalf of the Chief and Council, members and the elders and youth of Clayton, I welcome you to our traditional territory, and I hope this brings a spirit of better cooperation amongst all levels of government. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Mike, and you're welcome to the unceded ancestral lands of the Clayton. Thanks so much. Now, a little bit of a pre-dinner special surprise for you. Could I ask to come to stage Mr. Kevin Dobbin, Rio Tinto, Chief Councillor Crystal Smith, Haisla Nation, and Ab Morrison Hayward for a very special surprise treat for this, the 2025 BC Natural Resources. Come on, Kev, you're never that shy. And Chief Councillor Crystal, you've been up here a few times. Ab, great to see you. And Kevin Dobbin is going to tell you a little bit about this surprise, right, buddy?
Thank you very much, Kevin. And we're very thankful to be on the Clay Tenay traditional territory, so thanks for having us. My name is Kevin Dobbin, Strategic Partnerships for Rio Tinto in BC. Tonight we're going to unveil something that's very special to Rio Tinto, but it also is part of our journey with the Haisla Nation. Last year in 2024 was our 70th anniversary at Rio Tinto of being in BC. But in 2010, we signed a legacy agreement with the Haisla Nation. And during that negotiations, Crystal was there with us, or Chief Smith, sorry. And we looked at making an aluminum totem pole. And at the time, it was a bit difficult. We weren't quite sure how to do it. But last year, we revisited that, and we were able to create an aluminum totem pole that we unveiled on June 1st at our 70th anniversary. That totem pole is now sitting at the front of our main office in the entrance to the plant, which will allow people to see that they are on, and we are operating on, the Haisla traditional territory. So tonight we're going to, and that pole was designed by Paul Windsor. Tonight, Ab Morrison has designed our second totem pole, and we're going to unveil it tonight, and that pole will most likely be placed in the Haisla community. So I won't say much further. I'll let the Chief Smith and Ab unveil the pole, and then Ab will come up and say a few words about the design and his vision of the pole, and then Chief Smith will close with a few comments as well. So I'll let them do the unveiling. So I'll invite Ab to come up and share the design of the totem pole.
That is the Haisla language, and I said, hello, I'm called Ab, and I originate from Stag Beach, also known as Kitimat Village nowadays. So that's a little bit about me. I wanted to talk about the design for this totem pole. I call this design Giagas. And Giagas in the Haisla language means origin, can also mean clan. In this instance, it refers to the origin of the Haisla Nation itself. So to explain a little bit about that, we kind of have to go back in time to Rivers Inlet, which is further down the coast from where Kitimat Village is now. In Rivers Inlet, there was a man named Artemis, and he was exiled from Rivers Inlet. So he took some family and some friends, and they got into a canoe and started paddling, and they kept paddling. Eventually, they found themselves going up toward what is now called the Douglas Channel, and they had heard stories about a monster somewhere in that territory. So off in the distance, they got closer to where the head of the Douglas Channel is now, and they saw what appeared to be a giant mouth opening and closing repeatedly. So they were scared, but they decided to continue on. They got closer, and when they did, they realized that what they were seeing was actually a flock of seagulls, and all these seagulls were taking off and then diving into the water at the same time, so it looked like a giant mouth opening and closing. So then they got curious about what those seagulls were doing, and it turned out that they were fishing for a type of fish called ulican. And the Haisla people started to realize that these are really good fish, and they had a ready food supply there, so they decided to settle there, and we're still there today. So that's the traditional territory, and that's kind of the origin story of the Haisla Nation. So in the design, in the middle, you can see what we call Zahwan. Now, Zahwan means Wilikin, so that's the Wilikin in the story. Towards the bottom is the sea monster that they thought they saw. We don't really have a word for it, I'm not aware of. I refer to it as Yagam. A Yagam refers to something that is bad. It could also be referred to as a sea monster. So that's on the bottom, the head is on the bottom, and then the fins come up on the sides. And then at the very top, you see Tigilaks, which is the Haisla word for seagull. So that's the design, and that's basically the story behind it. So from there, I'll say Anastach Nugutla kan Aka Aks du Kakawata Aks du Homia Aks. I say thank you for coming and listening and watching. And I also thank Kevin Dobbin here for inviting me to be a part of this event, and to Rio Tinto for bringing me out here. And from there, I'll say, Langwaslina Wakake Wa. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you to Ab. It's always inspiring. I actually took a Haisla course that Ab was teaching with our partnership through UNBC, so it's absolutely inspiring to see someone that is close in my generation bringing back our language, and more importantly, bringing back our culture and keeping it alive in our community. So thank you so much for everything that your passion to learn our language and keep it alive. So thank you. So I would like to also thank Chief Darlene Logan and her community for inviting us to their territory to celebrate the common ground we all share in developing a strong natural resource sector. This poll symbolizes so much more than what we can mention in a few moments we have together tonight. So I'd like to start off by thanking Rio Tinto for recognizing and honoring Haisla culture as a part of your operations. Before industry came to our land, our people lived and thrived in our Haisla territory, where we had a say and direction over what happened in our own territory. However, when industry arrived, we were pushed aside, treated as bystanders to development on our lands and in our waters, and our values and culture were disregarded for close to 70 years. As we look ahead the next 70 years, let this poll serve as a symbol and a reminder of how much more we can achieve for mutual gain when we work collaboratively and as partners. Our past and our future is linked together. And for each of us to succeed, we need to work together for mutual benefit. It is with great hope that I stand here today that there is a new way forward towards a future that can provide certainty in achieving our collective objectives. It will be with great pride that our members who work at Rio Tinto today that will enter the doors to pass Paul Windsor's work, and also when this totem pole, this aluminum pole is placed for our community members to see. We have so much more to do on our reconciliation journey as a country. I see this poll as an important reminder that we need to walk the path of reconciliation together to ensure that we can all prosper moving forward. Wah. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. And just, there'll be a short video during the dinner that will show the making of the first pole designed by Paul Windsor. So thank you very much for paying attention and allowing us to speak here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Councillor Crystal, Ab, and Kevin Dobbin of Rio Tinto. It's an honor to call to the stage now Mr. Stephen Dean, Chairman and CEO from Artemis Gold, to introduce our keynote speaker. Stephen?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Stephen Dean, and I'm Chairman and CEO of Artemis Gold, the sponsor for tonight's event. And I have the honor again of introducing our keynote speaker, Premier David Eby. I'd like to start by acknowledging we are gathering tonight on the traditional territory of the Lheidli T'enneh First Nation, and we are honored for the opportunity to do so. Thank you, Chief Darlene. Premier Eby and his government have recently been re-elected to office, and we congratulate him and all the ministers and MLAs present this evening. At a recent BC Chamber of Commerce lunch event, Premier Eby spoke of the need to bring the deficit down to ensure the fiscal sustainability of the province, and his plans to do this by growing the economy. He stated that in order for British Columbia to succeed, we need British Columbia businesses to succeed. I'm sure that many of us in this room couldn't agree more. 2 years ago, I stood on this stage representing Blackwater, a proposed mine permit waiting for its BC Mines Act permit. Exactly 1 year later, I came back again to report that we were almost 50% through construction. I stand here tonight very pleased to report that construction of the Blackwater mine is now complete. We're in the final commissioning and wrap-up stage and expect first ore to the mill to take place before the end of this month, followed by commercial production in Q2 of this year. At peak construction, our workforce consisted of over 800 contractors and employees. Currently, the Blackwater mine employs over 400 people directly in operations, and I'm proud to say approximately 25% of our employees identify as Indigenous. These numbers do not account for the indirect jobs created by the Blackwater mine with our suppliers and service providers. 80% of our workforce is from BC, and 40% from the local region, a region that has had a devastating year due to mill closures and curtailments. In the past year, 75% of the money we have spent, and over 2 years, that's approaching $1 billion, went to BC businesses. I'm also proud to say that Artemis Gold is a Vancouver-based business whose largest owners are also British Columbians. Our progress couldn't be possible without the strong partnerships we are privileged to have with the Indigenous nations whose traditional territories are the home to the Blackwater mine, the Luscous, Dene, and the Olgacha First Nations. I'd also like to acknowledge Ngadli Wooten, Saikus, Salatin, and Nausco First Nations, with whom we partner in various parts of the mine infrastructure and other associations with them and in connections with the mine. We are pleased that the Blackwater mine enables members of the First Nations communities we work with the opportunity to live and work on their traditional territories and experience all the benefits that that can bring. We would like to thank Premier Eby's government for their support of the Blackwater mine and the value adds it brings to the local regions and to BC. We hope that support continues as we enter operations and look ahead to future expansion and the potential to help further grow the BC economy and create more economic opportunities to the region. As estimated by KPMG in 2020, the overall impact of the Blackwater mine for the province is $13.2 billion of economic activity and Premier $2.3 billion of provisional tax revenues. I knew I'd get a clap there. And on top of that, inflation and commodity prices have increased substantially since 2020, and so these numbers are much higher in practice today. This is the third year Premier Eby has joined us at the opening banquet, and the 12th year in a row that BC's Premier has attended the BC Natural Resources Conference. By the way, with that track record, I'd hate to be the Premier who misses this event. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our keynote speaker for the evening, Premier David Eby.
Good evening. Thanks for the introduction, Stephen. It's great to be here. Ordinarily at this point I'd start my remarks with a bit of a joke, but it's a sensitive international time, and I know how Donald Trump feels about Canadian icebreakers, so I'll get right into the speech. That did way better than I thought it would do. I'd like to begin by thanking, it's nice to be here, back here in Prince George, and I want to thank the organizers for accommodating my schedule requests. I will be ducking out a little early this evening, but as Stephen noted, I didn't want to be that guy to miss such a crucial event in the province's calendar as tonight's discussion. Tomorrow will be a First Minister's meeting with the Premiers and Prime Minister to respond to the Trump tariff issue, so I appreciate the accommodation by many other speakers. And I understand I'm between you and dinner, so I'll do my best to keep it to the point. Thank you for having me back. Chief Logan, it's good to see you. Thank you for the welcome to the territory from the Clay Tenay First Nation. Chief Logan and I have worked together on a number of important issues. She is a leader both on the social and the economic side of life here in Prince George and the broader community. And I really look forward to working with you more on our important shared initiatives. And Mayor, you and your council, it's nice to see all of you here. We've also worked together on some big economic proposals as well as social issues here in the community, addressing the encampment in the community, which we both see a closure of and an end to soon with opening new housing in the community, and addressing mental health and addiction issues as well as building the economy here in Prince George. So thank you for you and your leadership and your council's work on that as well. I want you to know that it is not lost on me that this is a complicated and complex place to do business in resources. We have a number of reasons in British Columbia why that's the case. We have world-leading environmental and labor standards. We have people across the province who want to be involved in the design and discussion about projects in their communities, how it'll affect them. And we've made a commitment around reconciliation with First Nations, recognizing that it's so much better to work together than to work at odds. All of this, though, obviously makes life more complicated. And yet, despite the complications that those commitments bring, they are also the same things that give our products an edge and an advantage in an increasingly competitive global environment. Many markets are prepared to pay a premium for products that are produced with high standards and low carbon. In this room, I see leaders that are thoughtfully navigating this terrain and increasing the province's prosperity and seizing the opportunities that are available. You are what makes this province possible and prosperous. I want to thank you for your work. Some examples of even just in the last few weeks, what we've seen in terms of the leadership that's in this room, of navigating that terrain and coming out with positive results. Lake Babine First Nation just signed a long-term agreement with West Fraser to ensure certainty around timber supply and prosperity in the region. The transfer of 3 local tenure licenses up in the Terrace region with the Kitsim-Kalim First Nation will revitalize forestry in that part of the province. And we saw the amazing totem pole celebrating the work of Haisla with Rio Tinto, Haisla, of course, also the proponents of the Cedar LNG project, which reached FID and will produce the lowest carbon LNG in the world. And, absolutely. And today, remarkable news from the Niska of massive private sector investment in our Silism's project. Congratulations to the Niska First Nation. I know there are many representatives of that delegation here today as well. So purpose, partnerships, and prosperity, and I really want to focus tonight on that last one, on prosperity and the importance of that to you and to your companies and to everyone who works in the resource sector in the province, and also to our province as a whole. We are obviously and incredibly fortunately blessed with natural resources in this province, but it is not sufficient to have them. They need to be developed, and because of you in this room, big things are happening in this province. We have 60 major industrial projects, resource projects in development across the province right now. I'll give you just a few examples. Seabridge's KSM project, an incredible project. It reached substantial start just this past fall. It is well underway. It is the largest undeveloped gold project in the entire world. We have over $5 billion in private wind energy projects across the province, all of which are at least 50% Indigenous owned in British Columbia. And we will soon see the first shipment of LNG from the LNG Canada facility, the biggest private sector investment in Canadian history. Now, I think, applause, sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the success of projects like these are key to our success as a province, as a whole. It's everything from creating good-paying jobs to building strong communities across the province to paying for the services that we depend on, the healthcare, the education system. And in order to strengthen our financial position over time, we need to do even more. As I said, and Stephen noted it in his introductory remarks, as I said to the BC Chamber of Commerce, you can't pour from an empty cup. In order to share the prosperity of this province, to lift everybody up, we have to create wealth and we have to do it together. BC business needs to be successful. Responsible, sustainable development of our natural resources will be a core focus of our government now and well into the future. With a renewed focus on growing our economy, everyone is better off. Our government is committed to working with you, to ensuring that we're not adding to your burden, that we're lightening your load, to making sure that we're not working at cross purposes with what you're trying to achieve. And this commitment that I'm making to you tonight, it's more important than ever. And when we're facing a proposal of 25% tariffs from the incoming American administration, I don't have to tell anybody in this room how devastating that would be for our province. It will be devastating for American families as well, and for their jobs. It makes absolutely no sense. We must confront this threat with strength, with leadership, and with unity, and I know that we can work together to respond to this threat. I was actually thinking about the story of the Haisla monster that turned out to be a massive opportunity for the Haisla people in thinking about the tariffs. Right now, this looks like a very scary monster for many families in British Columbia, but my hope is that we can use this to strengthen our provincial economy in a way that it turns out to double our prosperity and increase it for everybody in the province. Our province's strategy to respond to the tariff threat has three key parts: respond, strengthen, and diversify. The discussion tomorrow is very much about the response, making sure that, in my opinion, British Columbia is there to support a shared effort across the country to fight back, including retaliatory tariffs and export bans if necessary, to send the message to the United States that, at least to the administration, because I think a lot of Americans get it, but to the incoming administration, that we are better off together than we are working against each other. I'm regularly speaking with the governors down the west coast of the United States, Oregon, and Washington, also with the governor of Colorado, who will be in British Columbia with governors very soon. In February, I'm joining with other premiers and a delegation to Washington, D.C. to have direct meetings. The goal of all of this is just to deliver a very straightforward message. We provide what helps the American economy go, and vice versa. We benefit from each other's work. Just one example. The Trail smelter, Teck's smelter in Trail, produces metal that is vital for night vision goggles and other electronic components. It was one of the 2 metals that China banned export of to the United States in response to measures the United States has taken against China. If the United States doesn't get this metal from the Teck smelter in Trail, it's not available at all. And so that is just one example of how important it is that we work together. We provide the products that Americans need to be successful, and vice versa. The second piece of our response is to strengthen our provincial economy. We have to adapt our provincial economy to be more agile, to be more responsive. And I talked about this in the first speech that I gave to you about permitting times. I committed to you that we would be driving down permitting times, and we've reduced mining permitting times by 35%. And I'm glad that that's happened. We've got more to do on that front. Increasing manufacturing opportunities from our resources. You'll hear more from us about that during this event. Training the next generation of skilled tradespeople, ensuring the availability of industrial land, expanding our electricity production to reduce operating costs and increase jobs in the province and attract capital, and supporting emerging industries, including tech and life sciences. Our government will work with you to eliminate unnecessary red tape and bureaucratic processes. If our goal is to strengthen our provincial economy, one step that we can take is to ensure that we leverage our domestic advantages, and one of those is low-cost, near-zero carbon electricity in the province of British Columbia. It helps grow our economy, and it also helps meet our climate objectives. And that's why I'm pleased to announce here that we are taking that very seriously, expanding electrical transmission across the province to businesses that want to transition onto clean electricity, to resource businesses across the province is a priority. We will introduce new legislation in the spring to allow the BC Energy Regulator to act as the one window regulator, the only regulator, for permits necessary to support the North Coast Transmission Line and all major transmission lines in the province of British Columbia. It sounds a bit technical, but the bottom line is that the BC Energy Regulator has a history of showing success at getting projects moving quickly, working in partnership with industry and with First Nations, and this will ensure that we build the lines sooner, as well as other major transmission lines across the province. This builds on the green light we gave to wind energy projects to proceed without environmental assessment just last December, and it will ensure that the nearly 5,000 gigawatt hours produced by these projects gets to market sooner. Those wind projects will boost BC Hydro's production by 8%. We're also ensuring that we're working more closely with neighboring jurisdictions. Minister Dix has been engaging in discussions with the province of Alberta about greater cooperation and alignment on a range of energy issues to ensure that within our own country we're reducing trade barriers and frictions to ensure that our country as a whole is successful, raising all of our prosperity. The last piece of our response to the threat to tariffs is the need to diversify our customer base for the province of British Columbia. It's been a focus of our government for some time, and we've increased exports to non-U.S. markets. Our share of exports to the United States is an overall share of our exports, which is growing, is smaller year over year, but we've got more to do. By expanding our partnerships with Asia, Europe, and beyond, we can ensure that markets are available, that we're supporting you in the work you need to do. We're going to be working closely with our ports to ensure they have the infrastructure they need to get goods to international markets as quickly as possible. We're also committed to upgrading our transportation infrastructure to keep us competitive on the world stage. Now, I'm really proud to be a British Columbian. I'm very proud to be a Canadian. And I think it's times like these, when our sovereignty is tested, that we really know who we are as a country and who we are as a province. And I think about the fires in Los Angeles right now and our amazing firefighters who are headed down there to support the people of LA in their time of need. Now, there's no question we're having a moment right now with the incoming U.S. administration, but we will always be there when our American neighbors are in need. That's just who we are as Canadians. They're friends. In many cases, they are family. We will always be a partner and ally to the United States. But we are also a proud and independent country. And while we are proud of our products and they are absolutely for sale, this country is not for sale. It's a challenging global time, but we have everything we need in British Columbia to be successful. We have a strong and diversified economy. We have a stable business environment. We are the gateway to the Pacific. We have amazing resources. And all of this put together has shown up in success like increasing investment in our province by 73% over the last 7 years alone. But we've got more to do. The opportunities are significant. In critical minerals, we think about the future and what it's going to require. British Columbia is so well positioned. Total private sector investment in mining during the last 7 years has doubled. Employment in the mining sector is up 10%, and I am sure that we are just scratching the surface of the opportunity that is present in the mining sector right now. These are good family-supporting jobs. I know who I'm talking to. I know that you know this. I want you to know that I know this. With an average salary of $130,000 per year and jobs right across the province. This isn't just about jobs in the interior and the north. Even in the beautiful city that I call home, the city of Vancouver, many businesses reliant on a successful mining sector, as you heard from Stephen in his introductory remarks. Small and medium-sized businesses alike. So we have to do everything we can, and we will, to unlock more development. I told you last year that we would make a commitment to increasing infrastructure in the province to support this work and address infrastructure that was holding back growth. Last summer, we announced $195 million in joint funding to support upgrades to Highway 37 and 51 to have This has the twin effect, like so many resource investments, of benefiting local communities with safer travel, but also opening resource developments. We also announced significant funding for a 43-kilometer access road to support the Galore Creek copper mine. Galore Creek represents $6 billion of investment and 5,700 jobs, and that access road opens up even more exploration opportunities. In forestry, now, when I think about the impact of tariffs, forestry has already been struggling with softwood lumber duties at record highs. The impact of additional 25% tariffs would be absolutely devastating. This is a time that demands collaboration, and I'm so glad to have Minister Ravi Parmar working on this file. It was shortly after I swore him in. He was already out in communities meeting with key stakeholders. I had a great meeting with Vanderhoof to talk about the work that they're doing together. I've asked him to do some important work to support our forest industry in this remarkably stressful and awful time. I've asked him to review BC timber sales to ensure it's responsive to our needs right now in the province, to ensure a strong connection between our forests and strong and stable jobs in communities in our province, to work with industry, First Nations, and communities through forest landscape planning tables to provide certainty for everybody going forward, to ensure access to the land base for the forest sector, reliable access so they can access the fiber that they need, and to ensure that manufacturing jobs are there to get additional value from our trees. Our goal is a sustainable forest industry, not just for today and tomorrow, but for future generations. Making sure that you have access to a strong industry is so central for so many communities in the province, and Minister Parmar and I and our whole team are committed to that. I want to close with one thought. I talked about all of the things that we have in this province that make this such a remarkable place, that give us such a huge opportunity. But without doubt, it is the people of British Columbia that are our greatest resource. When I look out at this room, and I was discussing it with Stephen Dean before the meeting, the effort put in this room to developing and enhancing our province's prosperity through the entrepreneurship, through the risks taken, through the efforts put forward is remarkable. When I look out at this room, I see people who are willing to dream big and help deliver. And I want our government to be a strong partner for you in this work. I can't wait to get to work with you. I look forward to our discussion tonight. I hope you enjoy your dinner, and I will do my best to keep my answers to the questions as brief as possible so you can get eating. Thanks very much for having me.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and welcome back. And don't worry, we support the important work that you're doing tomorrow with the meeting, so this will be very rapid fire. So I think one question I hear a lot of people asking is, what are your priorities for the year for the natural resource sector, and will we be seeing mandate letters shared to your resource ministers?
The priorities I laid out in the speech are the priorities. They're the priorities that will be in the mandate letters for the resource ministers. It will be to grow our economy by supporting the foundational resource industries of the province and ensuring that we're creating good quality jobs across the province. It's a straightforward direction, but it will be underpinned by a commitment to examine the processes and address those pieces that cause delays. So I know the electricity transmission lines and wind generation, waiving process for that, getting those built faster, very NDP kind of things to prioritize. But they are an example of what we will be doing across sectors, ensuring that we're addressing unnecessary process, reducing duplication, and speeding up time to have shovels in the ground, both for your projects, but also for our own projects related to critical infrastructure for the province.
Great, thank you. So one of the things you mentioned in your speech were some of our pretty major projects that have been completed this year, which obviously a huge cause for celebration. But so with those, like LNG Canada, Site C, Artemis, Blackwater, all achieving or nearing operations, where do you see that next opportunity in the short term? So what's on your radar for creator of jobs?
I talked about some of the projects that are underway in the province. There's 60 major projects underway. And the $5 billion in wind projects, KSM, are underway as well. Phase 2 LNG Canada is under active consideration right now. Cedar, as well as Silisms. And there are other projects that in the current environment we may see acceleration of. The Roberts Bank project in Delta Port, for example, given potential for increased exports from Canada. there are a number of significant projects across the province. The benefit of some of the BC Hydro projects that we're doing as Site C wraps up, people are going to be able to transition directly into a number of these projects. We have a $10 billion capital project budget at BC Hydro to expand and respond to growth in the province, as well as to expand generation and transmission.
Awesome. Well, I think you've given us a lot to think about and a lot to look forward to. So with that, I guess, is there any other message that you'd like to leave the audience with tonight?
The message is quite straightforward. Over the next 4 years, our government wants to be partners with you in increasing the prosperity of the province, and we're excited to get to work.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Premier. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Premier, and thank you, Sarah. It's a pleasure to call on John Mullally, Head of External Relations and Social Performance here in Canada for Newmont, to do a thank you to Premier Eby. John.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Kevin asked me to make the most efficient thank you. So, Premier Eby, there's a lot to thank you for in your remarks. We could start at the top for sure, that you're here, for example, and given the hectic situation in Canadian politics at the minute. So it's actually my first Natural Resources Forum, and I've certainly definitely remarked the overwhelming presence of you and your government here and the commitment and to this event. So that's very, very impressive. So thank you very much for that. Your remarks definitely underscore the historical importance of natural resource development in the province, which has supported families in BC and helped build the prosperity that we know today. The mining industry and our other industries here, forestry as well as energy industry, have incredible opportunities in front of us, not only to provide high-paying jobs, but also to provide, in the case of mining, critical minerals important for the transition to a low-carbon economy, and to do so and develop projects in partnership with our Indigenous nations. So, Premier, for your leadership with respect to natural resource development that certainly balances prosperity and economic growth with environmental stewardship and reconciliation with our Indigenous nations. I'd just like to thank you, and again, especially for taking the time that you've taken out of your schedule, given all of your other priorities at the minute. So thank you very much, Premier Eby.
Great, thanks, Jason. It's going to get a couple of photos, and then Premier's got a dash, so you can thank Premier Eby on his way down the stairs, and off he goes to. Thanks so much. Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, thanks, Kevin.
Okay, great. I wrote my notes here. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Premier. All right, dinner is coming, but before we get to dinner, and thanks again, Premier, for taking time to join us. 12 in a row. Good stuff. Can I ask Peter Bird, please, to join me? I think you've got some roles in front of you. Peter is with Outland Camps Indigenous Youth Employment Program. At the front of the room, at the bottom of the stage, is our opening night silent auction. And I know we've got some big bidders here. I saw Brian Fair in the room, Richard Prokopenko, who's a legend here at BCNRF. So we're going to ask you through the evening to get your pocketbooks out and run these bids up. Please welcome Peter Bird to come and tell you about our silent auction for Outland Indigenous Youth Employment.
Thank you. I am your final hurdle before dinner. So my name's Peter Bird. I'm with the Outland Youth Employment Program. First, I just want to thank C3 Alliance for putting together this silent auction. All the proceeds will be going to the program. It really means a lot. Thank you also very much to all the people and organizations that made donations that made that possible. Very much appreciated. For those who don't know, the Outland Youth Employment Program is an employment training program for Indigenous teens, ages 16 to 19. And the programs take the form of a 6-week summer work experience. What that means, it is a paid job for these youth that takes place during their high school summer, where they can experience opportunities that they can take advantage of after they complete high school. And while they're there, they're also equipped with the skills and certifications that they need to be able to access those opportunities. It really is a privilege for me to be able to be part of that process for those youth. And it is an incredible program. And it's incredible to see that change and that transformation when a youth really grabs hold of those opportunities. Also, very important to note, in BC, the OYEP program is currently facing some financial difficulties, for certain. And we only can still run by the grace of our industry sponsors in the province, many of whom are sitting out here tonight. And I can't explain enough how much I appreciate that. But we will need more. I wish I was out here talking about the way that we could grow the program, but we will need further support just to be able to sustain this excellent program in the province. So I'll be out there. Please come talk to me, and I'll tell you all about it, and hopefully we can work something out. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. And of course, the bids will start during dinner and continue through the evening. And all you big spenders, come on up here and support this fabulous program. It is a pleasure now to call on our Prince George Conference and Civic Center team to begin our dinner service before we get into the back end of the program. So enjoy dinner, and we'll resume our program. Oh, and the video. Yes, thank you, Sarah. I would ask our AV team to show the Rio Tinto video while we get dinner started.
This is a totem pole that we were making out of aluminum. We plasma cut it. We're going to put it on a stand.
The inspiration came from Tales of Kitimat, which was a book that was written a long time ago by Gordon Robinson. And in it mentions that two of the most original Hislop crests are Beaver and Eagle, Extupia and Colleen. So I decided to use those two most original crests for the inspiration behind this design.
Oh, isn't that nice? When you hear this over the next 2 days, please return to your seats and get ready for some more speakers. Sarah Weber wouldn't let me bring my old cowbell, so we've now gone high tech, and we'll have the chime. So while those of you are finishing dinner, can I get a warm BC Natural Resources welcome to our second speaker of the night? Would you please welcome to your stage Clyde-Lieutenant Chief Darlene Logan and Clyde-Lieutenant Councillor Crystal Gibbs.
I can adjust the mic. Hadi. So, Hadi, welcome everyone. I want to do a shout out. I see a lot of chiefs and councillors here from other First Nations. I don't want to name them all because I know I will miss one and I will feel really bad. So all the chiefs and councillors from other First Nations, welcome to our territory. And I did see a Regional Chief Terry Tiji. Welcome. He's here over there. And of course, all their local governors and ministers. I know you're welcome to a busy week here in Prince George. So on behalf of our members, our council, and our administration, and many of you whom you'll see this week, we are pleased to have you here at the 22nd Annual BC Natural Resources Forum. Every year I'm impressed by the number of people who join us in our territory, especially in January, because we have no idea what our weather's going to be like. Today we're like at 3. Last year I think we were minus 32. So, and for those of you for your first time here at the forum, we welcome you, and you're lucky we have the +2 today. So it's to celebrate the innovation and opportunities that our resources bring. I'm also encouraged to see that over the past 22 years, the conversations that have evolved in many ways. This year's themes, purpose, partnership, and prosperities, is emblematic for the changes that we have seen over the last 22 years at the forum. I want to start with purpose. When MLA Pat Boone co-developed the forum 22 years ago, the purpose was to bring people together to discuss the opportunities that enhance our resources development opportunities in BC and in Canada. Now, all these years later, our purpose still holds the same space for those discussions, while ensuring the voices of First Nations are not only heard, but respected and followed. Our purpose is the same for you as yours, to be partners in creating greater opportunities for our communities and our people. This is a strong purpose for us. Clayton Tene believes strongly in the idea of partnerships and the opportunity that can come when partnerships believe in more than just words on paper. We have a tremendous history for partnering with forestry companies, biofuel companies, which I just have to mention here, RBS, a partner of ours, has just finished construction. Soon they'll be in production. So. And those looking to innovate and think differently. As one of the 9 First Nations who successfully became partners in the recently announced wind projects in BC, NELT, which translates to windy in our language, will help offset the massive call for power in our region and provide new pathways for wind farm projects in the province. Our partnerships have led our nations forward, as with many other nations in this room this evening. Partnerships are key for everyone. But we need to ensure that our partnerships extend beyond the short-term financial gain and focus on the opportunity to partner together in creating greater environmental as well as economical outcomes for future generations. After all, partnering today means partnering for our future. When we speak of prosperity, most people will jump to financial outcomes right away. When we think about prosperity, we think of the opportunities to create jobs, build houses, deliver services, build bridges. Yes, Clayton today needs a bridge to join our, really badly, to join our reserves, which is divided by the Fraser River. So, to enhance health outcomes and to create greater sense of community. In BC, we are fortunate to have an abundance of clean and reliable sources of energy. We are fortunate to have companies willing to invest here. We are fortunate to have the skilled workers willing to show up every day, work hard, and earn great earnings, and especially the ability to stay home here in northern BC. We have First Nation communities willing to participate in a progress that truly includes them. And we have a prosperous future at our fingertips if we all work together. So while you're here networking this week and discover new opportunities, I would encourage everyone to think about the purpose of their time here and the value of partnerships and the prosperous futures you have the opportunity to participate in building. So I know we're on short timeline and everyone wants to get out here earlier. Some of us are just getting their food, which was delicious, by the way. Thank you to the staff. So before I say thank you and good night, I would like to thank my council member, Crystal Gibbs, Joshua Seymour, Wendy Jail, and our executive director, Tofik. Then we have Zawad and our economic development, Alan, all here with us tonight, representing Clayton Tenay. And I hope you all have a great week. And if you want to discuss anything, Clayton Tenay is in room 202. We're here. We can talk about the wind project, RBS, forestry, new opportunities. Our door is open, and Clayton Tenay is always open for business. So I hope you'll have a great evening. Thank you.
That's it. That's as good as it gets. Come on, this is Chief Logan and Councillor Gibbs. Before you two go, now that's resources. Hello. We have a nice thank you give, Chief and Councillor, from everyone at BCNRF. Tried that 3 times fast, right? Okay. There you are. Can we get you in front so we get a picture? No. Jason wants to take your picture, Chief. I know you're camera shy, but you know, it's what we do here at the BC Natural Resources. One more time, thank you, Chief Logan, for having us on your territory. And
We're not done.
you're very popular tonight, Chief. Anyone else while they're up here? Okay, that's it. Chief says no. She's here all week, as Chief Logan mentioned, and Councillor Gibbs, Councillor Jail, Councillor Seymour. The whole Clayton team will be upstairs if any one of you wants to meet and have a chat. So I've just got some concluding remarks and some reminders for what's going to happen the next couple of days. And then I understand there may be a reception or two. Just text everybody for those who know the locations. I think I heard something over at the Coast Hotel just across the way. So with that, what about these bids? I'm going to give you 10 more minutes. Kind of come up and see what winning bids are. We will close bidding at the conclusion of tonight's dinner, and then we'll have a list of who the successful bidders were. Thank you all for bidding to help with the Outlander Indigenous Youth Training Program. We want to say thank you, please, and join me to all our sponsors. We can't do this without the support, and you'll see throughout the next 2 days who our sponsors are. And groups like CN and Rio Tinto have been with us right from the beginning. So thanks again as well for Artemis Gold for sponsoring dinner tonight, and Centerra Gold for sponsoring that hydration in those bottles that was on your table. The wine, yes, yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Got to stay hydrated here in the dry air in Clayton Tenay country. So we'll have the doors open tomorrow morning right here at 8 o'clock. Our official welcome program starts at 8:30. There is a breakfast that starts at 7 o'clock at the Coast, sponsored, I believe, by the Conservative Party of BC, you know, after they elect. No? Okay. They will be there and be speaking. It's a BCNRF event, so we like to share all the space we can. And so if you want to meet some of the new MLAs, that breakfast will start at 7 o'clock. Our opening ceremonies here start at 8:30. We'll take you through the day tomorrow with panels, keynote speakers, and then, of course, tomorrow night we've got receptions here in the trade show. and a bunch of other activities that we're going to let you know about as well as the day goes on. Anybody that needs to download Whova to get your questions in and pick up notices about various events going on through BCNRF, please download Whova, and our staff here at the registration desk will help you get that going if you need help. And with that, unless anybody else has got any more business, I got good news. You're free for the rest of the evening, 8:30 sharp tomorrow morning. Thank you, Chief Logan. Thank you, Premier Eby. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, everybody. Have a good, safe night. We'll see you tomorrow morning.